Well. The Switch 2 is here, and oh boy, these prices. Oh boy. Tonight we're going to be talking about the prices on the Switch 2. And I do know and understand that there is a lot of things that have been revealed for the Switch, including some of these games here that are super cool. I am excited for the console. I do think that Nintendo delivered well, and I do think they did a good job with the console. And it does seem like it seems like it's going to be Nintendo's best console ever until we saw the prices and everything kind of, we got a little bit of a tummy ache here. Okay, interesting case here. Of course, we know that they did not release any prices on the Direct itself, which was in of itself like kind of weird. Like, why would they not do that? Right? I was like, what? No prices? And they kind of like shadow dropped the prices on the websites and all that. And this is kind of what we're looking at here. So here we have a list of the prices. And by the way, this is by Central Leaks here that I'm on X. But dang, I was betting on $400, and I think a lot of people were betting on $400. And let's get into it, and let's see. Okay, so for the Switch, Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World, which is looking fantastic, by the way, we're looking at $500. Okay, now this is good in the sense that if you were to buy just the Switch 2, which is going for $450 without any games, that will cost you more to buy Mario Kart separately. So I would encourage everyone to just buy the bundle, and I think that's Nintendo's idea here. You save $30, and those $30 might come in handy because Nintendo's gonna siphon your freaking wallet here. This is crazy. $500 for the bundle and $450 for the Switch 2 is gonna be the prices that have been set for the US, and it is a little bit steep. I even said like perhaps $350, but for sure at least $400. I thought $400 was gonna be like, I was very convinced it was $400, but it was. But well, I was. It's still $400, just not $400 flat. But anyways, yeah, this hurts. This hurts a little bit. I know this hurts people that really want to buy the console. This is a hike. This is a hike. I can certainly relate to. This is a little too much, and I don't think the console is the most egregious thing we're gonna see here, but I will go over quite a few things here on this video as far as the prices, which is what we're going to be focusing on tonight. $79 or $79.99, excuse me, $80 for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. But the game going for $80 is a first. I don't think any game has ever been sold at a price tag of $80. I mean, I guess you can make an argument in saying it's the game plus DLC, so that's $80. I guess I could see that, but then you go further down the list and you see that Mario Kart World without any kind of DLC day one game is actually costing $80. So Nintendo has made the leap to price their games at $80. We know that Nintendo also led the charts here with the Tears of the Kingdom when it came out for the Switch, and where they set the price at $70, and I believe is, if not the first game, one of the first games to ever set a price tag of $70, which of course back then the price tag was set at $60 cap, $59.99, and we're seeing a big hike on prices here. Okay, $70 again for Tears of the Kingdom, the Switch 2 edition experience. We have Bravely Default here at $40, which sure, right? What do you even say about this? I don't know. I think this is a bit much, I can't help but feel that this is all a bit much. I am not questioning the quality and the work that was put into these games, and I can only hope that all this extra $10 that they keep hiking every generation. I can only hope that this is going towards developers who struggle and have difficult jobs and work long hours and all that. So we've seen some horror stories out of that for sure. So hopefully this money is going towards them. But I do think that this is beginning to get into the realms of ridiculous, in the words of one of the Harry Potter dudes. What do you make of this? I mean, what do you make of this? Nintendo is a very rich company, and they could live on a $70 if they went for $70 games. It's not like they would have gone bankrupt. So I do wonder why they keep hiking the price, man. Like, I wish I had some internal knowledge here of what's going on. I know that people mention inflation a lot and all that, but the price has been jacked up on every single country. Like, this is in Europe, this is in Japan as well, and here in America with $80. We've reached the $80. Now there's a little caveat here, and we're going to touch upon that here in a little bit. You see that Bonanza here is actually going for $70. I actually think that's a fair price. I mean, I could see this game, from what I've seen of the footage, it seems like it's in the same veins as Tears of the Kingdom in terms of quality. It seems to be a lot of fun, and I can tolerate $70. I think 80 is when they start to lose me a little bit here, right? They said, you know, like it's getting hot in here. Like, it's getting a little hot in here. Like, dude, I need to breathe here. I'm getting a little constrained. It seems like there's no end to it. Street Fighter here, I forgot to mention, but $60 there for Street Fighter 6, which is a fantastic game. All right, so here's another interesting bit of information as shared here by Central Leaks. I'm not sure, they got this information from the Japanese website, and this is very interesting. And it says, based on the Japanese prices, it seems like Nintendo Switch 2 Game Edition upgrades will cost $10 for the smaller upgrades like Zelda, and $20 for the bigger ones with new DLC content like Kirby and Mario Party. So what this means is, and this is not confirmed, we're going off of the prices in Japan. So this is not exactly confirmed for the US or whatnot, but I think it's safe to say that we're gonna see the same thing happen in the US, right? And what this means is that you are basically going to be paying $10 to upgrade Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild to your Switch 2. Now let me tell you why this sucks. There's a little game called Final Fantasy VII Remake. You probably heard of it, right? Good game, sold very well. Good quality game. That game was on the PlayStation 4 when it first released, I believe back in 2020. Now, there was a feature that allowed you to transfer your PlayStation 4 copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake to the PlayStation 5 at, guess what? 0 cost. And yes, you didn't get any extra content, and yes, you got the upgrade on the frame rate and the resolutions, much like you get here for Zelda, and that was at 0 cost. Okay, so other consoles, and I know Nintendo's gonna do their own thing, they don't care, but the part that scares me is the precedent that this is setting. So let's go down this rabbit hole for a little bit. Imagine that Sony is like, some Sony dude is like, la 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 la, I'm on my computer looking at stuff, da 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 da, and then comes across this information like, oh, Nintendo charging $10 to upgrade their games. Wait a minute, I did that for free and they're getting $10. I want $10. Let me put a $10 fee on my game to upgrade my game. And then and this is cyclical, right? And that's what's going to happen. So the concern here is that this becomes an industry standard, right? Because Nintendo set the price, I think it was them, I'm not entirely sure, but I know that Tears of the Kingdom set a mark of $70 to be acceptable. I am unsure if there was another game that also set that mark before Tears of the Kingdom, but I think Tears of the Kingdom kind of pioneered that. Don't quote me on that for sure, but now we're looking at $80 games, plus you pay to transfer the game or to upgrade the game to a different console, which I think this here is unnecessary. 100%. This is line our pockets, please. This is Nintendo saying, please give me your money. We want to squeeze every cent out of your freaking wallet. Now, when it comes to the $20 version ones, these are games that add DLC, okay? So there is a monetary justification for this because it adds DLC. So paying $20 is usually what you pay for your average DLC, something like $10, $15, $20, sometimes even $30 if it's Pokemon. And $25, anywhere within that range is going to be the average price of a whatever DLC content. So I don't have a big problem with that because it sort of makes sense, right? You're getting new DLC, you pay for the extra content. Okay, sure. Nobody's got, I don't think anyone's will have a problem with that. What I think most people will have a problem with is this $10 for a game that you already bought. You already bought this game, okay? You already bought Tears of the Kingdom. You already bought Wind Waker, of course. Breath of the Wild, excuse me. You already bought those games, and if you want to upgrade them, and this is an upgrade consistent of frame rate and resolution, okay? There's nothing added to the gameplay other than frame rate, and better resolution, which is great on its own. But again, a small example there with Final Fantasy VII, which did exactly the same thing for no cost. A news drop here that says Switch 2 games cost a bit more than you're probably expecting, okay? You'd better sit down for this. Now, this is going to be touching upon the European prices, which this might shock you if you don't know this already, so here we go. The Nintendo Switch is launching on the 5th of June, a retail price of $449 and €469.99 euros and $395 in UK currency. But how much do the actual games cost? We'll see, a bit complicated. So not really, but it ain't simple. As reported by VGC, Mario Kart World will cost $80 or $75 physically, but will actually be cheaper if you opt for the digital copy. We don't have the US price at the time of writing, but a digital copy in the UK will set you back to $66.99 from $75. So what does this mean? This means that the physical copies and the digital copies are gonna cost different prices, okay? And this is based, again, we don't know, the US price hasn't been set for digital, or if there's going to be a difference or not. For sure there is, almost for sure. We do know that the European websites, and I believe the Japanese as well, have come out and said that there's two different prices for digital and physical copy, okay? So Donkey Kong Bonanza, meanwhile, will be slightly cheaper in the US and physical copy of $69.99, but we don't yet have a digital price. So the digital price is going to be less. While in the UK, this one will be $66.99 physically and $58.99 digitally. I can speak words, I promise. Yeah. So what this could mean, and we don't know this for sure, but basically what this could mean is that you might be paying $90 for a physical copy and maybe $80 for a digital copy, or you might be paying $80 for a digital copy, for a physical copy, and $70 for a digital copy. Now we don't have, again, like they said, as of right now, the US price have not dropped, so that's very interesting. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But how are you guys feeling about these prices? I mean, $80 for a game. I think we're oh boy, I'm getting, you know, like getting a little bit of the sweats here. But yeah, this is wild news. We could see games up to $90, in fact. We'll have to wait on more news for that, but yeah, this has been me. How do you guys feel about these price tags? I thought I'd make a video about it because I did think that this is getting a little out of hand, and it was worth mentioning. So how do you guys feel about this? Let me know. Are you gonna go broke for the Switch? Are you gonna sell your chickens? And are you gonna sell your cow and your kids and your heart and one kidney to pay for this? Or, and again, I think that most people, this might deter people from actually wanting to buy this because they see a skyrocket pricing on everything. So everything got more expensive, like the console, the games, the upgrades now you're paying for. You have to pay for the Nintendo Switch Online. Like everything is a price. And I think this might deter some people from actually buying the console or actually wanting to even, I don't know, man. I think either people are gonna play the lotto a lot more, or they're gonna just you know, just kind of like throw their hands up and like screw it. But we'll have to see. Thank you guys. Stay frosty, be good, do good things, and good things will happen to you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, take care, guys.